Okay, so we covered a lot with the VRFX, how to add it in your blocks, make the robot do basic commands, drive forward, stop, turn, using variables and loops to create sequential movements to create different shapes. And we also covered using the sensors, so the distance sensor, bumper sensors, and the eye sensor. What we're going to do now is our very first challenge, and that is the Castle Crasher map. And basically the goal is to knock everything off the map, all the while avoiding falling off the edge of the map. So for this one, we're going to kind of just keep it with the default settings. So we're going to use the static one. We're not going to use the dynamic one. Um, and the idea is that I want you to figure out a code so that it makes your robot knock off all the elements off the map, but do it in a way that's efficient and be able to do it in the fastest way possible. So it's going to require to use the combination of everything you learned so far and then kind of figure out how to make it run. So the idea is that first and foremost, you want to keep the robot inside the map. That should be your first goal. So that was kind of covered with the eye sensor. Basically, have the robot drive forward until the bottom eye sees the color red. Once it does, either make it stop, back up, and turn around, or make it stop and turn and then continue about its way. Then the second thing you need to cover is, how are you going to knock off all the things off the map? So you can do that all kinds of different ways. So because we are on a static map, the position of all the elements will be in the same spot every single time. So you could write out a code so that makes it go maybe turn left and then drive forward until it knocks everything off, turn right, drive forward until it knocks everything off. You could write its code to just brute force it, or you can also use the distance sensor to maybe make the robot look for something and then drive into it. So let me go ahead and show you what that could look like. So let me pause it real quick. All right, so I've wrote out simple code. May not be the most efficient, but for demonstrative purposes, just to kind of show you what I'm looking for. The idea is you want your robot to knock everything off the map, all while not falling off the map itself. And so to do that, you're going to use a combination of your vision sensor as well as the down eye sensor to knock things off. So I'm going to go ahead and run the code. Just give you the idea what that looks like. And so the idea is that you want to make your code as efficient as possible so that you can kind of get the fastest time down for clearing out the map. Okay. Again, this is not my best work. It's just something quick just for demonstrative purposes. So you can see it's doing everything possible to not fall off the map. And it kind of tries to chase everything off the map. Now, one thing I do need to warn you about when you're using the distance sensor is that basically you want to treat this robot as kind of a cyclops. So it actually has a very narrow field of vision. So it only kind of sees like in a little straight line right in front of it. It doesn't have a wide range of view. So once it sees something, um, again, it's a very narrow field of vision. So if it runs past it, runs into it, there may be a chance it kind of goes out of its field of vision. And sometimes it may end up either turning too much or not enough, and it may not be able to grab things effectively. So maybe you may need to write a code out to kind of do that a little bit more efficiently. So you can see here it's about a minute 20 in, still has a bunch of elements on the map, still making progress, but it's still going a little too slow. So again, your goal is to write out a code that can make it so that it does that in the shortest amount of time possible. So for this one, you can work with other people to kind of get ideas off each other, figure out what's the best way to write out your code. Okay. Once that is done, you show me the progress or show me the time it took to complete the run, and then you can also submit that code, and this will be for the Castle Crasher challenge.